what the hell did I just watch? Is the first thing that comes into my mind for Terrifier 3. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. We are here tonight officially reviewing the newly released, newly premiered Terrifier 3. But before we do so, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on all the social media pages. And without further ado, let's get into it. Like I just said, I don't know what I just watched, but I know I enjoyed it. I knew going into this movie that it was going to be one of the most violent, bloody, gory movies ever made. And that is solely because the director himself said so. And it lived up to what I expected it to be. I read going in overseas showings that people were leaving, people were throwing up, people were having panic attacks, and I got to experience a little bit of that myself, and I'll explain that. But Terrifier 3 really centers around Art the Clown returning at Christmas time, the most jolly time of the year, and wreaking the havoc that he does. With this, Sienna and her brother Jonathan are really going to be a focal point again. With that, Sienna gets out of a hospital, mental institute. She goes and stays with her aunt and uncle. Her cousin Gabby kind of starts taking a liking to her, misses her, kind of rebuilding that relationship. But Sienna is still experiencing things from the past. She is experiencing the trauma and seeing things again. And it ultimately impacts her life and her relationships. I will not go more into that because I will not ruin the plot. But what I will say is this. This movie gave you absolutely as many directions as you thought you could see in a movie. You had a Hallmark movie, this lovey-dovey family Christmas time. You had a horror movie where you are seeing people get murdered all over the place. In a slasher film. And then to top it off from there, you have him going through doing what he does. Now, with Art the Clown, I will say there are some funny moments in this movie, and the whole entire theater was laughing. It wasn't just one person or a few, it was everybody. Obviously, you don't hear a voice, but you see the reactions, the way he mimics, the way he talks, and it ultimately is insane. Now, I will go ahead and say this is one of the bloodiest, goriest movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, and it does not waste any time at all. You see it right from the beginning, what the movie's going to do, how the movie's going to be, and it is insane. And I think that's what made this movie so good. Now, I mentioned the previous showings. We actually had a notification outside of our theater that said, if you feel unwell or feel like you're about to be sick or whatever, contact a Regal member. Obviously, the disclaimer there because of what has been said and talked about before. Now, let's get into what my overall thoughts on the movie were. And like I mentioned, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought it was funny. I thought it was scary. I thought it was just graphic. And that's kind of what I want to see in a scary movie. And what made it so intriguing in many, many ways is that it followed a storyline. It wasn't one of those things where you are just watching something take place. It followed a good storyline. And the storyline made sense. In many scary movies, that's not the case. Now, some people may disagree and say the storyline didn't make sense. I thought it did. Christmas time, Art the Clown's back. You have these flashbacks. You have Sienna reliving things. It was insane. Now, let's get into overall rating. Sorry, I had to take a drink real quick. Still trying to get over this cold. Rating. Some people may be shocked. For me, this movie is a 4.4 out of 5. I don't know why I want to rank it so high, but I thoroughly enjoyed every moment of the movie. the good, the very few bad parts, and the nasty and the ugly. There are things that happen in this movie that I cannot talk about on this video, and I may have to go talk to somebody about it just as a therapy session because it is that insane. But keep in mind, if you like scary movies and you like gore and you can handle it, this is a movie for you. If you cannot and you don't like scary movies or you're just trying to see it because it looks interesting, do not go see it. You may be one of the ones we read about online that pass out or get sick in the theater. Do not do it. But Terrifier 3 is out now. Does Art the Clown die? Does he live? Can he be defeated? What comes next? Go see it and find out. Because you will not be disappointed if you are interested in horror movies, especially graphic ones. But make sure to go check out my other videos. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you all later.